Good afternoon, Concat. So, as you have requested me to demonstrate a simple SPSS analysis. So, here is my SPSS file, SPSS data. So, there are many variables in my data. For example, I have used the UTAT theory, that is user acceptance of technology, where 7 variables are included, that is export expectancy, performance expectancy, facilitating conditions, subjective influence or social influence, hedonic motivation, price value, and habit. So I would like to see whether any of these variables have an impact on the dependent variable intention to visit a particular destination. So here I have 7 variables and 1 independent variables. Actually, these are independent variables. I have effort expectancy 1, effort expectancy 2, and effort expectancy 3. So together, when we do any analysis, the mean score of this has to be undertaken because we use items to measure a particular construct. So these are the items and measuring effort expectancy. So this is actually not needed in multiple linear regression. However, in structural regression modeling, this is very crucial. This is important. So I'll be demonstrating you only as a single variable, that is effort expectancy, facilitating condition, performance expectancy, all in one variable. For example, I have used a Likert scale. So in this case, Likert scale is an ordinal scale, but we treat it as a ratio or interval scale. However, in main analysis, we have to add all the items. For instance, effort expectancy 1, 2, and 3, and take the mean score to get the final effort expectancy. So this is the explanation of my data. Now I will be performing the multiple linear regression analysis. For this, I have to go to analyze and then regression analysis. Regression, here we see regression, and then linear. So we are trying to see the linear relationship. So here it comes. So I have already put my independent variable and dependent variable here. Intention to visit a particular destination, and I have effort expectancy, facilitating condition, performance expectancy, social influence, hedonic motivation, price value, and habit. So these are my independent variables. So in this case, here one option is here, which is known as method. I have used stepwise method here. Enter is another method. In enter method, it will enter all the independent variables. However, in stepwise, it will only keep the significant variables and which are significantly impacting the dependent variable. So I have chosen here stepwise, or you can also choose enter. Enter means it will test the significance of all the variables and keep in the model summary. However, in stepwise, it will only keep the significant variables that is impacting the dependent variable. So let us give it enter. And in statistics, we have the estimates, model fit, R square change, and descriptive statistics. For other checking other multicollinearity and other assumptions, we said Darwin-Watson and case-wise diagnostics. Also, we can check here collinearity diagnostics in order to see the VIF value, that is variance inflation factor. So we continue, and then in plots we check for the linearity of relationship. So Z predictive in x-axis and Z residual in y-axis. So we can use normality plot and histogram plot to see the normality or the linearity of the relationship between independent variables. We can continue, and then we can click OK. So this is the result of the regression analysis. This is the descriptive statistics showing the mean and standard deviation. This is the mean. So we have used the 5-point Likert scale. I think there are some outliers here. So it's showing 6 here. So some outliers are present here. we have to check the outliers. We can check the outliers by Mahalanobis distance. This can be discussed in a separate section of the SPSS analysis. So these are the correlations. Correlations, we can see that there is a moderate correlation, that is low correlation among the variables, independent variables. So correlation 0.2, 0.3, maximum correlation is, you can see 0.4. So average or moderate correlation. Then we go to the entire method. So it has entered all these independent variables: habit, price value, effort expectancy, social influence, facilitating conditions, performance expectancy, and hedonic motivation. So these are the variables entered in the analysis to see the significance. And this is my dependent variable, that is intention to visit a particular tourist destination. So this is the model summary where we can see the value of R square as well as the significance value. In this case, we see that the model summary is significant, indicating that there is some significant contribution of these independent variables explaining the dependent variable. So for that, we see the R square. Here we can see R square value is 0.093. That means it has been able to explain 9% of the variance, which is relatively low and not acceptable here. So we have to reconsider the data. At least 60% value is good. However, in many cases, we can also see that it depends on the interrelationship between dependent and independent variables. So adjusted R square is 0.08. So we see that only 9% of the dependent variables has been explained by the independent variables. That is 9 independent variables. ANOVA table also sees the significance of the model fit. Here we can see the significance. So it is saying that the predictors or the independent variables, habit, price value, effort expectancy, subjective social influence, facilitating conditions, performance expectancy, and hedonic motivation is able to explain the dependent variable. Right? So if ANOVA table is significant, then we consider that the model is significant. Here we can see the Darwin-Watson value. So Darwin-Watson value should not exceed 2, a numerical value of 2, in order to be acceptable for multicollinearity. That is, if Darwin-Watson value is higher than 2, then we can say that there is a high correlation between the independent variables. So these are the coefficient values where we can see the standardized and unstandardized beta values, or in other words, this will check the significance of each independent variable and how they are impacting the dependent variable. So in this case, we have effort expectancy. We see the significance value is 0.005. That is, effort expectancy is significant and has a significant influence on intention to visit a particular destination. Likewise, we can see for facilitating conditions, it is not significant. For performance expectancy, it is again significant. Again, for social influence, it is not significant. Again, for hedonic motivation, it is significant. And again, for price value, it is significant. And for habit, it is insignificant. So we can see from the analysis that price value, performance expectancy, and effort expectancy has a significant influence on the intention to visit a particular destination. So this is the how we write the output. So we can also check the charts. So this is the normality chart, histogram chart. So we can see that the data is not completely normal. However, it can be treated to be normal. Also, this is the linearity there. This graph shows a linear relationship between the dependent and independent variables. This is the scatter plot showing some linearity also. Here in this case also, it is saying that the points are spread, so it shows that there is some linearity in the relationship. So there is the equation for linear multiple regression. So here y is the dependent variable and beta naught is the constant regression coefficient, or either it can be treated as it is a constant value, and beta 1 and x is the independent variable. So in this case we can fill the values here. Here we have got the values of coefficients, so this can fit the values. We can fill the values here and say that there is a significant relationship, that is the independent variables effort expectancy, performance expectancy can be put, the values can be put here. For example, performance expectancy, how much value, effort expectancy is, we can use the uncertainty beta, so this is 0.200.